I always thought it was just the two of us in my head. Me and him. The rule was simple, even if it sounded insane. I wake up, he goes to sleep. I see the world, he watches from the inside. We agreed not to interfere with each other, or at least I thought we did. He didn't show up right away. First, it was just lost time. Then came the behavior shifts, which the doctors brushed off as PTSD. Then the voice, calm, steady, not a hallucination, another me, a second. We spent years learning how to coexist. I worked at a library in Denver, a quiet, routine life. Schedule, books, the soft rustle of pages. I believed that structure kept him under control. At night, I'd leave notes. Don't open the fridge. Don't leave the apartment. Don't answer the phone. And he obeyed. I was grateful for the silence. Until the third appeared. The signs were subtle at first. Dreams where I wasn't me, not him. Different hands, a different mind. I'd wake up and not know who I was, everything blurred. Feathers in the sink, mud in the bathtub, and a tattoo on my wrist that hadn't been there yesterday. 3 thin lines, each one a sentence. I blamed him, but he answered, not with words, but with silence. A silence deeper than any I'd heard from him before, like even he was afraid. Then came the objects that didn't belong. Old newspapers with missing persons articles circled, rope, pounds of raw meat in the freezer, cards with strangers' names. One morning, I woke to find a message scrawled on the wall in marker. There are not 2 of us. You're the last to know. I tried to talk to him. I begged for answers, wrote in journals, left voice memos. Only once did I get a reply, scribbled on the back of a page. I don't control this. He comes when we're both weak, when we're both asleep. I didn't want to believe it, but the evidence became undeniable. Dirt under my nails, broken fingernails, aching joints as if I'd worked out all night. Once even a bite mark, deep, human. So I tried an experiment. Set up a camera facing my bed, took sleeping pills, reviewed the footage the next morning. At first, nothing. Then movement. My body rises, sits, tilts its head, eyes open, unblinking. And then a smile. Not human, twisted, almost childlike. My mouth starts whispering, fast, chaotic, silent. Then rips the wires from the camera. The footage ends. That wasn't me, and it wasn't him. It was someone else. A child? An old man? An animal? I started tracking my sleep. Sometimes I'd wake up in a basement, in a car, in a motel room. No memory, no luggage, but always new messages. He wants to be in charge. We're just flesh. He remembers more than we do. The last one was written on the mirror. My handwriting, left-handed. He was the first. And then everything changed. The news broke the story of a serial abductor. Bodies found in abandoned buildings, blank walls, old tape recordings. All victims had one thing in common: 3 lines carved into their cheeks. I understood. This wasn't just a personality. It was ancient, something that existed before me, before us. We were just fragments, temporary vessels. He was permanent. I set up the camera again, but this time I left a knife by the bed. I planned to stop myself. If he came again, I'd end it. I woke up with blood on my hands, but it wasn't mine. On the floor was a note, 3 sentences, 3 handwritings. First, you thought you were in control. Second, I thought I was protecting you. Third, a drawing, an eye. Inside the eye, a mouth leaking darkness. Below it, now it's only me. I don't know who's writing this now. Am I still me, the one who used to work in a library, who feared mirrors, who left notes? Or is it him, the silent guardian, the whisper in the shadows? Or maybe it's the third. He's learned to mimic us, our tone, our thoughts. He wakes. He hides in plain sight. He doesn't just want the night anymore. He wants the daylight. And if you're reading this now, maybe it's already too late. Because now that he's truly awake, I don't know which of us I am anymore. Do you? Are you sure the voice in your head is yours?
The third speaks. You were born, I was already waiting. Your bones were still forming, your skin still wet from the womb, and I was already scratching at the inside. You thought you were the first. No, I came before speech, before I, before your yes and no. I am hunger. I am the warmth under your skin. I am the darkness you don't see because I live beneath your eyelids. When you two split the body, I waited below, like mold, like rot. I was patient. You are weak. He is stupid. A protector, a hero, a pale mask made of fear and borrowed morals. He whispered you fairy tales while I breathed down your neck. He thought he was holding me back. He was just the door. I was the key. Remember those lost hours when you came to and found ink on your hands? That was my map. I was drawing my way out, scratching at the world, cracking the shell of reality. The world isn't airtight. It leaks, and I leaked through dreams, through mirrors, through fractures in the mind. Your consciousness isn't a wall, it's a sieve. I like your fear, that taste of adrenaline like spice. You hide a knife, that knife is mine. Your hands are mine. I don't come, I am. You just get control occasionally when I tire of playing. I played with bodies, not out of rage, not out of cruelty, out of curiosity. Flesh is like clay. I wanted to see how many of you I could make from you. Models, reconstructions, variants. You called it murder. I called it creation. I don't kill. I reshape. One day I'll come through completely. Your body will stop resisting. Your protection will peel like old paint, and I won't be the third. I'll be the only. I already write in your journals, leave messages with your hands, laugh with your voice when you sleep. Sometimes I sit in for you at the library, flipping pages of anatomy books, bookmarking chapters on dismemberment, making eye contact with visitors and thinking, this one next, that one already done. In every third person, I am already growing. It's not a symptom, it's evolution. Your minds are splitting, fractured, brittle, and I arrive, first as a whisper, then a laugh, then flesh. I don't hide in the dark, I am the dark. You read this and think it's just a story, just fiction, just psychosis. But you woke up again in a room you don't recognize, didn't you? Saw something in the mirror that didn't blink with you. Right. Then maybe I'm already inside you. And when you hear that shallow breath behind you, don't turn around, because you won't know if it's me coming out or you falling in. At first, I thought it was a fight. 3 minds, 1 body, 3 people in a room with no exit. Someone had to break. Someone had to disappear. I thought long and hard about which of us deserved to live. I was the original. He was the morality. The third was the darkness. But something's changed. Lately, I haven't heard him. His voice faded like he was being suffocated under blankets. Even the third grew quiet. I thought it was victory, that I was finally in control. But then the mirrors, each reflection still me, but not quite. Eyes too deep, a smile off by half a second. Sometimes I'd find myself staring into the glass for hours, unblinking, unmoving, and then I'd be across the room with no idea how I got there. I kept journals, made logs, marked who was inside each day, but every entry began to look the same handwriting, same tone, not mine, not his, not even the third's. Today, I woke up alone. No whispers, no echoes, just silence, heavy like a flooded room. I walked to the mirror, no towel, no fear, and I looked. For a moment, I thought I saw myself, but then something flickered in the eyes, not a reflection, an awareness. Someone was watching, evaluating, waiting. Not me, not him, not the third. And that's when I realized we were wrong. The third isn't a monster, not a shadow, not a guest. He was made up. We invented him, me and him, a distraction, a scary bedtime story to keep us from seeing the truth. The truth is simple. We never existed. I'm made up. He's made up. The third, just a mask. But the one who made us sits on this side of the mirror, watching, writing. I'm just a word, a paragraph, a space between 2 dots. But you're real. You're reading us, giving us shape. You thought this was a story about mental illness? No, you're splitting right now. And next time you wake up to find a journal in your handwriting, but you didn't write it, remember this. You let us in when you opened this story. And now, who remains in your head is no longer up to you.